Emerging Trends in Accounting. I extend a warm welcome to our respected chairman, Dr. Raghavendra Holla. Welcome you, sir. My cheerful welcome goes to our today's resource person, Mrs. Namratha and Nayak, Deputy Head Internal Audit, Tata Capital Financial Service Limited. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
A warm welcome to all the faculty and students of Swastika National School. Today we have with us an eminent personality, Mrs. Namratha and Nayak K. She holds 15 years of rich experience in the discipline of accounts. She is a chartered accountant and also holds CISA qualification to her credits. She leads the audit team, which claims performance in audit procedures, detection of deficient controls, operational inefficiencies. She has also experience in the field of internal audit process reviews, operation risk management, branch audit, and many more. She has served as General Manager, Internal Audit, P&B MetLife Insurance Company, Mumbai. Also worked as Senior Manager, Internal Audit at Axis Bank Cooperative Office, Mumbai. And currently she is working as a Deputy Head, Internal Audit, Tata Capital Financial Services Limited. Once again, I happily welcome Namratha ma'am and I hand over the session to madam. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. It's a wonderful feeling to address a young crowd. Actually, you feel younger when you talk to young people, young students, who aspire a lot, because teaching is one profession, where there is only giving. It's so selfless. Unlike in other professions, once we get into a corporate, so we are dealing with the corporate people, it's always a good feeling to interact with the students, and encourage students to understand what is happening around us, what are the developments in our chosen field, because that adds value to you all. So keeping my all these initial talk short, in this session what I will try to do is, in very simple words, try to explain to you how the accounting field is changing, or what are the emerging trends in the accounting in this digital era. So there's a lot of difference in the way we used to do the accounting earlier, and today we are talking about artificial intelligence, we are talking about big data, we are talking about online platforms, where we transact. So how this has somehow changed the way we are doing things, and what impact it has on our accounting processes, or the controls that are in place within the organizations. Okay, so I keep it very objective. Let me just share my screen with you all. Okay, just one moment. Okay, so just to set an expectation as to what you can expect from today's session, which we have almost now 25 minutes, almost 50 minutes on hand right now. So the changing scenario, then we will talk a little bit about the artificial intelligence, cloud accounting, data analytics and forecasting tools, and a very new concept, of environmental, social and corporate governance, which we call as ESG. Okay, so let's talk about the scenarios first. Okay, so you'll be able to relate to this, right? So when you log in to a website, like it may be Google or a Bing, in this case it's Bing, right? So last night I was just wanting to eat pizza, so the moment I googled, or I searched for pizza, there was this pop-up which came, which was a live chat. So what is this? How is this how is this chat coming up on your screen? Is there a person who is doing this, or is it something else which initiates the chat? So if you see here, this is a new AI powered chat. What is AI powered? It is artificial intelligence. So there is a robot or a bot which which picks up the data which you are feeding into the internet. So here, the moment you said pizza, you're looking, searching for pizza, right? So it is giving you suggestions. So what this is, what is pizza, where you can find it. So as you continue the chat, it will give you all the feeds. So where you can find it, where which outlet you can go. So this is artificial intelligence for you in our day-to-day life. So this is a very simple example of how artificial intelligence is taking charge of our life. So have you noted any time, okay, where, in your Facebook page or your Instagram page, you get certain suggestions, like, you would have shopped for some dress, and then, on your Facebook page, you get notifications about discount is off on this particular Meesho app. Yeah, you get a notification that on Flipkart, that this sale is on. So you get these notifications. So how is it possible? It's because there's some artificial intelligence which is pulling out the data, whatever your behavior on the internet, your behavior on the social media, something is tracking it, and this is nothing but the artificial intelligence. So your behavior is tracked, your where you're going. So suppose, you're posting on Facebook that, you are in Kulu Manali, you are in Manali, right? So it will give you suggestions, ki in Manali, where you can go, where you'll find what. So this is all about big data, the data analysis, and the artificial intelligence. So there is someone who is tracking you, and that is the artificial intelligence. And these are the bots which are feeding on your data, which you're posting on the internet. Okay, so this is just one simple example how artificial intelligence is overpowering us and has taken control of our life. Okay, so everybody can relate to this. I know your lunch break is fast approaching, but and your mouth will always water when you look at this. So let's see how things have changed, uh, in business. So today it's very easy. We pick up our phone and we place the order, online order, right? So here we are talking about online pizza ordering. So when you order the pizza on your mobile app, what is happening? See, this is what happens. So the order is received by Pizza Hut, okay? And in case you are a past customer, it will do an account check, maybe whether you have, this is a hypothetical example where it will check whether Namrita, okay, Namrita has placed an order. Namrita our our customer. So did she have any past transactions with us? So it will check my account, and then it will see whether there are any overdue invoices. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬಾಕಿ ಉಂಟಾ, Namrita ಹಣ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, so there is some overdue invoice. So if it is yes, so Namrita ko pizza nahi milega, so Namrita doesn't get her pizza, so the order is cancelled. Okay, if are there any overdue invoices? No. Okay, track record is very clear. Namrita has paid all her previous dues, so she can be, delivered the pizza, right? So then what happens, whether the pizza is in stock or not? Yes. So then the invoice gets generated, and at the same time, on the payment gateway, you get a notification. So Namrita will get a notification, proceed to make an online payment, right? So Namrita will proceed, put in. Okay, let me just go to the next screen. So you will get something like this on your screen, on your app. So you will put in, your credit card details maybe, and you will make the payment online, right? So this is typical. Or at that time you will eligible for any discount, whether there is any coupon which you can apply to this, right? So you will apply the coupon, and you will make the payment. Done, dusted, right? This is how the transaction is happening today on a digital space, and with the APIs which are in place. And this is the digital mode or the online mode of transacting today, right? So this is all you have to know about how you transact online or how you go digital, right? So let's go to the next screen. So if this was the traditional way of doing things, right? So what would have happened? The customer would go to the pizza shop. He will take the menu. He will look at it. He will order the pizza. Then a request to bake the pizza will be placed. The pizza gets baked. The pizza gets delivered. So you are called to the counter. Your token number is called. You go. You make the payment and you take the delivery. In between there is some, if you see here, there is some kind of waiting time, a customer displeasure. If in 5 minutes you're not getting it, you will walk to the counter. You will go shout at the counter, why, ಇನ್ನು 15 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಯ್ತು ಇನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, right? So all these things will happen, but this is a traditional way. So on an online platform, if the pizza doesn't get delivered within 1 hour, you get pizza free. So that's a change. I mean, this is on a lighter note I'm saying. So the way we transact business has changed, and this is why the way we do the accounting also has undergone a change, because everything happens within a fraction of a second. The decisions are made within a fraction of second. So human brain has its own limitation. There is a speed at which we operate, but once we put in artificial intelligence in place, so all these are called business rule engines, which are built in the systems, so that one second. So what happens is that because of this, using the bots and the robotic process automations at the back end, these decisions are taken faster. Okay, and you don't lose out on the customer, and also the time taken to process your transactions are also faster. Okay, so now this is another scenario. Have you come across a situation where you get calls from the call center? You are eligible for a loan. So did I apply for the loan? Did I apply for the credit card? Ma'am, you get a credit card from SBI. You are qualified. Congratulations. So how does this happen? So here, this is Barclays Bank card, which is displayed on your screen. So you are pre-qualified. So when you say pre-qualified, who is qualifying you? Who is doing who is taking this decision that you are eligible for the loan? So I have not applied, okay, but there is someone who is deciding. So who is this? Again, it's the artificial intelligence. So what happens at the back end? Your transactions are getting tracked. If somebody takes your CIBIL report, okay, there's something called the credit scores, right? So CIBIL is a CIC, credit information company, which has a repository of the behavior of all the customers who have borrowed from financial institutions, right? So if anybody has access to that, and they can like the banks, the NBFCs and all, they have a membership of these credit information companies. So what they will do, they will pull out the data from them. They will buy the data from the CIC, and they will make a run on their own database, whether Namrata is our customer. Yes. So has she defaulted in making the payment of any of the loans? No. What is her income? Does she have loan with other banks? No. So how is her track record? Clean. So if I give her a loan of say 2 lakhs, will she be able to repay? So this kind of a data analysis happens at the back end, and then that's called what you call as data scrubbing. Okay, so they do a data scrubbing. So there is a business intelligence unit, or what you call the data science team, which does this data analysis and the data scrubbing, and they come up with a offer. Okay, we can offer Namrata uh, uh, a loan of say 2 lakhs of rupees because she meet all the parameters, and that is why she is pre-qualified. So when Namrata gets this message, if Namrata is willing to take this offer, she will go through all the documentation and she'll take the loan, and without much hassles and without much of a documentation requirement, right? So this is what happens typically. So yeah, this is just explanation of whatever I had explained to you. I'll just move to the next slide. Okay, now coming to a third scenario. Okay, a credit card transaction, how does it work, right? So you know that, okay, sorry, just one second now. So what happens in a card transaction? So you would have seen when you go to a shop and you swipe a card, right? You are happy that without making the payment, within a fraction of second, the shopkeeper will hand over, if your transaction is authorized on the point of sale machine, the credit card machine that you see at the counter, right? So EMV authorized, so you will get your product and you happily go back home. Payment ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು, it's okay. But what exactly happens here? So let's understand, because see, understanding these concepts is very important to understand how accounting is changing, right? So if you see here, when the customer goes and swipes the card and initiates a purchase, the merchant, he will get all the credit card in the chip card. There is a microchip in your credit card. Okay, it has all the information about the credit card and the customer details in that, details in that, right? So then a message goes to the payment gateway, and the payment gateway routes the information to the processor, and the processor sends this information to the card network. So here what we are talking about is a Visa or a MasterCard, and that network will again validate all this information and authorize the transaction. So after that, now this is a little technical, but in short, what happens is once it goes to Visa, MasterCard, it will also send a message to the issuing bank and the acquiring bank, and then the merchant, if everything is okay, if the customer details everything, it's proper, then what happens is that the merchant gets a message that okay, this payment is authorized. Okay, and the card holder gets the purchase items or the services, right? But have we ever wondered, you know is it as simple as this? Who makes the payment? How is it recovered from the customer? So at the back end, there is a very big process of a reconciliation which happens. Okay, so just like a bank reconciliation, what we talk about, right? So here a reconciliation between the card network and the acquiring bank and the issuing bank, there's a huge reconciliation of all the customers. See, in a bank, you may have millions of customers who are transacting on card, so credit card. So is it possible to do a manual reconciliation? It's not possible. Again, all this is, all this information, it is stored at the point of at the point of sale. So from there the information gets relayed to the servers and then to the banks. So there's a whole lot of information exchange which is happening. There's a whole lot of data which is getting exchanged, and it's impossible to do any manual reconciliation here. Okay, so here, that is why the way we are accounting or the way we are doing a reconciliation also has undergone a very big change. Okay, so let's understand what are these changes now. Okay, now one more example I want to give you is on score based lending. So what does score based lending mean? See, yavaglu, whenever we go to the bank, right, we give our documents, then they will screen our documents and then say whether you are eligible for the loan or not. But today this entire process is automated. What happens is that when you submit a loan application, the person on the bank person, the person from the bank employee will just input. So I'll give you an example. If you go to Harsha, maybe to buy some consumer durable, you want a washing machine. Let's take an example. So you go to Harsha showroom. Okay, so what do? You will have these help desk. Madam, may I help you? Do you want a loan to buy this buy this product? So what you will do, acha ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, just fill this form and give us this detail. So you'll give that detail, so that guy will go to the computer and he will feed that information. After maybe half an hour, he'll come back and say, madam nimge now 50,000 tanka now limit ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, so you can buy the product and you can pay to us in installment. So this is all that we know. But back end ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, okay, so the moment the bank person enters your income details and your income details and your employment details, everything in the system, which he picks from the application form. So there is a artificial intelligence behind this. So what we call APIs, okay, we call them as APIs. So what it does basically is that it will trigger a search from the CIBIL database. It will take your credit history, whether you have defaulted in paying the loans, what is your income. So yes, all this search happens at the back end, and a score is derived, a score is derived. So based on that score, your eligibility, whether you are eligible for 50,000, 10,000, 15,000, that is that is decided by the artificial intelligence. And at the counter, your bank person will be telling you. So how fast this happens? If this has to be done by a person, he may take 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, to do this. But it's so quick. It's so quick. So this is a way, artificial intelligence and robotics, or what you call the robotic process automation, has changed the way we are doing business. It's changed the way we are looking at things, the way we are processing the transactions. Okay. So now let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is very basic. What happens in a account. So after having given you a background of how the scenario is changing, let's understand accounting ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, so first of all, what happens in an accounting process? We identify the transaction, whether it's a purchase transaction, whether it's a sale transaction, whether it is lending, whether it is investing. Okay, then we record it in the journal. So we pass the journal entries. Then once we pass the journal entries, what happens? You post it in the ledger, right? So after you post in the ledger, what happens? You can generate the trial balance. Okay, sometimes when you generate the trial balance, you will find certain differences. Okay, you may find differences. You will fix that also. And if it is a month end, there will be many transactions which happen at the month end, like your month ends on 30th of November. Okay, but you still have 2 more days to close your books. Okay, so within that 2 days, you can make the you can pass the accounting entries on 1st and 2nd of December, which pertains to your November month. Okay, so these are called closing entries, which you will have to manually post again. Okay, and then adjusted trial balance will get generated, and then the financial statements will be prepared. See, this is what we are calling adjusted trial balance, and then the adjusting journal entries will be passed in the system based on the final trial balance, right? So this is how the accounting process normally happens. Okay, so going to the next, yes. So now let's see how artificial intelligence is used for this accounting process. Okay, so first of all, what is artificial intelligence? So I've given you so many examples. So here is a science of using programs and machines to complete the task which otherwise need human intelligence. Okay, so it uses computer algorithms to perform the task. So for example, order fulfillment, I just showed you the example of pizza. We just discussed that, so I'll not get into it. Account reconciliation, again, what are we basically doing? So we are matching the banking, sorry for the spelling error. So we are matching the banking transactions to the GL transactions on the basis of some defined rules. So here it's a bank reconciliation. It could be a vendor reconciliation, or it could be an intercompany reconciliation that we do. Okay, so then we have accounts payable, so where we match the invoice to the goods or services delivered. We extract the information from the supporting documents. Then we send the alerts about the discount. we also, what the artificial intelligence also does is that it will route the invoice. See, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎಲ್ಲ invoice ಅನ್ನು authorize ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So a CFO may have the power to authorize an invoice of 1 crore, but a person at a manager level may have the authority to only uh, authorize invoices of say 25,000 rupees, right? So the artificial intelligence, what it will do, it will push the transaction in the queue of the respective people who are authorized to. So if it is a 1 crore invoice, it will directly go to the CFO's queue. So this is what your robotics will do for you, right? It will push it, otherwise ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, you will take a copy, you will staple it, you will put it in a folder, ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ CFO ಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So this is not required. So the bot will automatically push this entry in the queue of the CFO. So when the CFO logs into the accounts payable system, he will get a notification also, okay, this particular invoice is in your queue and requires your authorization. It has to be authorized in next 2 days, so it will send reminder, okay, that has expired, so then escalation will happen. It may go to the CEO, so this is how it is automated within the system, right? Again, it will also the artificial intelligence will also identify the duplicate invoices which are raised, okay? So there may be, if at all there is invoice number 1234, and again there is another invoice 1234, so it will not let the system will not let you process the second invoice until you actually look into it. You will validate it and somebody will authorize it, okay, yes, this is not a duplicate invoice, after checking. So the vendor may be different, the amount may be different, so that kind of a check it will intelligently put in place, okay? Then it will also help you forecast the cash balances, reconcile the payments, and also it will give you alerts on high value transaction. So what happened once, I'll tell you. I had a credit card, okay? I did not transact in dollars at all, but one day I got a message from ICICI Bank saying that your transaction for $5,000, it's not processed, we have kept it on hold. So what does this mean? So who is doing it? Is somebody from the bank doing it? No. So the artificial intelligence, how it works is that it checks, it keeps a track. Namrata always transacts in INR, in Indian rupees. So now there is this transaction of a high value which has come in dollars. So it will stop the transaction being processed. It will intimate the customer ki dear customer, there is this transaction, transaction which has come. Are you sure you are the person who's done this transaction? So then I'll go, Arey Bapre, this is not my transaction, I've never transacted, so I will not authorize that. And that's when the payment will not fall through, right? So this is what we call alert on high value transaction. I'm just giving you a hypothetical example. So this is how artificial intelligence saves the customer also, or in an organization, it gives you triggers about suspicious transactions, cash transactions, which should not be done as per the anti-money laundering rules and regulations. So this is how your artificial intelligence has changed the way you transact the manage the accounts payable also. So then there is journal entry automation. That is, when the journal entries are prepared, they're prepared on templates. So the robot will read the text files and Excel files. It itself will populate it without you having to type it, and then it will enrich the data by assigning the cost center. So otherwise you write, if you're doing a manual voucher, if you're preparing a manual voucher, you will have to fill in all these details, right? But here what happens is that the bot itself is populating automatically. New screen al nodidre, you'll see that okay, it is all pre-populated, it's all pre-populated in your template. And that is how the bot will help you to automate your journal entry preparation also. Okay, next coming to closing of accounts. So let's see what are we talking when we are talking about closing of accounts. So when it is a month end, what you do, you first verify and adjust the balances, then you produce reports and you see whether these are whether the financial position is true, that is the GL balances are true. So you will do a GL, general ledger certification, so the heads of the department will have to certify it. Then the investor balances, we may take the confirmations from the investors, from the lenders, from and also there may be some certain numbers which we report to the regulatory agencies also. So that also we will have to see, the reports will have to be generated. Then what happens is that there is a budgeting and reporting also which happens, there is an audit also which happens. So there are management reports which get generated. Then there is statutory reports which get generated from the finalized numbers, right? So then there is a consolidation which will happen. So if you talk about a company may have subsidiaries. So intercompany balances will have to be consolidated. Then reconciliations will have to be done. The adjusting journal entries will have to be passed. So how the robotics or the artificial intelligence has changed the way we do the closing of the accounts, right? So it will import the spreadsheets from multiple resources and accounting softwares. It will run the automated checklist, so you don't have to sit and check first I have to do this, second I have to do this. So manually when you're doing it, you have to maintain a checklist, right? So here within the system itself, the sequencing is done. So the bot or the robot, what will it will do, it will take up the first activity, then it will complete it, go to the second activity, third activity. So it is automated, you don't have to manually do the task. Again, it will track the progress, timelines and approvals, and also it will compare the financial data using the reconciliation repositories. Okay, so this is how the artificial intelligence has changed the way we handle the accounting process. Okay, so now let's go to say this is your bot. Okay, this is the bot. So he's replacing, the bot is actually replacing human beings. So we have to become smarter than the bot now. So we have to upgrade ourselves. We have to know what is data analysis. We have to know what are the automated processes, how we can do things differently. So you need the qualification, you need the expertise to handle the bots now. So that's where we are. So we are becoming redundant. So you are all young people, so you have to be very mindful when you choose your career, and what more in data analysis, data science you can do. How can you become the program writers for these bots? How can you bring in process automation? So you have to be one step ahead of the bots or the robots. So that is how you have to look at your career options now. Okay, so then yeah, this we've already spoken, I'll not okay. So the merit, as I've already told you, this artificial intelligence and robotics helps the finance and accounts professional to spend more time on decision making than doing the mundane data processing. Voucher prepare ಮಾಡೋದು, ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Just 1 second. Yeah, so next we are talking about the cloud accounting. Just 1 second, Vidya was calling me. Just 1 second, can I take the call? Just one. Vidya, if you want to talk, I think you can just stop me and ask me the question, Vidya. Hello? Yeah, Vidya. Hello. Uh, Acha, acha, okay. Oh, okay, 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 no problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you call me. Yeah, yeah, no, 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 no problem. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Connected now.
Yeah. So, were you
Yeah, yeah,
able
yeah.
to look at this screen, Vidya? You'll have to help me. I just finished this slide, right? So,
No,
yeah,
this
this
is
slide.
covered.
Yeah.
This is covered, ma'am. This is
Okay.
covered.
Okay. Fine. So, I'll just quickly go to the next slide on cloud computing. Okay. So, what is this cloud? Everything in the sky, there's no physical limitation, right? So cloud is something which is floating, right? So there's no physical limit. So in a box there's no server here, see? So everything is, it's floating, right? So what is cloud accounting? So this is something which is very new to us. So when we talk about a cloud, what is a cloud? Cloud is a network of, it's a big network of remote servers around the globe, and these clouds may be, they may be, interconnected. So today, if MS Office also provides you, Office 365, right? If you use that, whatever data you work on, you can save it on cloud. So in the cloud you will have, so it is a licensed, it's a licensed space which you are getting. So there is no physical server, but there is some space, which you get to store your data online, right?